Hello, once again, folks, and welcome to another episode of I Ruined It, the art series where I take some of your favorite childhood things and I ruin them. Today's episode, we're going to be returning to the Muppet Show to get our hands on Miss Piggy. Let's see how it goes. All right, so this comes out as a suggestion as a follow-up to the Kermit the Frog video that I did a couple months ago. Honestly, it's just kind of fitting. Uh, Miss Piggy ultimately just synonymous with Kermit the Frog and the Muppet Show in general. If I wouldn't have followed up with Miss Piggy, I probably would have followed up with Fozzie, to be honest, or Great Gonzo. Gonzo would have been probably a good one too. But any which way it folds out, I really did appreciate getting this opportunity to do Miss Piggy. I was originally thinking about doing her more as like a pig in a wig type of thing, like an actual pig. But on my initial drawing, I, for the life of me, just couldn't get it to look right. So instead, in honor for the fact that here in the US, we have this holiday here in the month of November where we celebrate feasts, I figured why not combine that with a little bit of horror by coming off the tail end of Halloween and doing a beheaded Miss Piggy on a platter. I know, ultimately not as cute as the Kermit the Frog one, but honestly, I thought it would be kind of entertaining to play around with having a theme for the month. And Miss Piggy is just going to be kind of the start for that. So, that being said, here we are going through and doing our colors. Honestly, there's not really much to say here. The Muppets are pretty well color blocked in the sense of they have recognizable main colors. So, like, if you think about Fozzie Bear, you think brown bear, red necktie. You think Miss Piggy, you think that kind of peachy color with blonde hair and some kind of dress. Kermit the Frog is arguably the easiest, just, dual tone green. Um, and that can be said for a lot of Jim Henson's Muppets. Not quite all of them, though. I don't know how much of my viewer base crosses over between puppetry and digital artwork speed drawing videos with unedited, uncensored voiceover tracks, but if for whatever reason you're not one to have knowledge of certain things that the Henson Company has done, the least surprising would be that they are also the company that did all the puppeteering for the Star Wars franchise. So, like, the R2-D2, the Yoda puppet, a lot of the costuming, I believe, was also done by Henson Studios for things like the Ewoks and for, like, Chewbacca. Now, again, don't get me entirely mixed up, because I would know that maybe not know, but I want to say ILM also did some of the work for that special effects stuff, so if not just Lucasfilms in general. But I digress. I know Yoda was a Muppet. I know that Henson Studios also made some leather horse for, I believe, a Lady Gaga music video. So yeah, just nutty little stuff like that. Sorry, it's been a handful of years, so I don't honestly remember what video it was, but I do know it was Henson Studios' Leather Horse Lady Gaga. Oh, but oh, we are on to our shadow blocking here, or masking. Just kind of going through, giving her those head edge shadows. As per usual, we're doing a front-facing light source, so trying to do some of those edge highlights around things like the platter and some of those higher impact areas where the light would be hitting. Um, then we're going to go through and we're going to blur the edges of our actual shadows. It makes a difference if you're someone who is going through and working with digital art like this and you're wanting to experiment with this kind of cell-ish art style. Just going through and taking the time to blend that edge of your shadow where you're not connected to like a harsh edge. It may not look super noticeable on a video capture sense, but the more layers you have to your shadow, blending them through will help that gradient immensely. But as was very apparent just a moment ago, I then went and I shrunk the entire image, kind of like that Rick Moranis film. And that's because, per usual, you know how I do, we are going to be putting the beheaded Miss Piggy on display. Rather than have it be sitting on like a porch, which would not make sense thematically, or some kind of museum pedestal. Today I went with the concept of either a kitchen table or a coffee table. I'll let you decide. The perspective of the legs doesn't give itself the best to one way or the other on it. The color choices I made also kind of leave it to ambiguity. I was trying to go for a kind of like a theater approach for the colors of this back wall here. So that's why we have like the crimson red for the upper half. That's supposed to be reminiscent of like a stage curtain. And then those browns are that darker brown rather there is supposed to be reminiscent of like the wooden planks of the physical stage itself. Then this cream color I purposefully picked because I wanted to leave a certain ambiguity to it. Kind of just going off of the idea of it could either be a kind of dirty tile floor or it could be some kind of carpet. Just trying to leave it more to interpretation than anything. I say we as if I'm not the only one working on these videos. I rather put that shadow underneath the table just to add a little bit more depth as to everything going on before coloring the table a slightly more muted tone of brown. Add some contrast to the scene so that your eyes are known to kind of draw more in on the brightly colored head. But alrighty folks, that's going to be about it for today's video. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit the like button down below. If you want to see more of my content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I post one of these every Wednesday. If you have a suggestion for a future one of these, also please leave a comment down below. I'm always taking suggestions and I'd really appreciate the input. Otherwise, folks, bye.